rolling. Hi Internet. Hello everybody. Welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia and today we're going to talk about how to study English alone. So how to study English with no teacher, without a teacher. I know many of you are studying maybe in a small town or in a place where it's difficult to connect with a teacher. So today I want to introduce some ideas and give you some strategies to study by yourself, So today, there has been some trouble on Facebook and Instagram, on the Facebook and Instagram sides. So we are focusing on YouTube and the YouTube chat today. So as you join, please send us a message in the chat. Please make sure to like and share the video as well. We really appreciate it. And we're going to begin in about a minute or 2 minutes. As always, too, we have free stuff. I will show you these free PDFs later in the lesson. These are great resources for people who are studying alone for quick, topic-based vocabulary and phrase lists. So please have a look at this when you have a chance. Okay, I see many people in the chat. Andres, Lizzie, Henry, Haved, Banyar, Eka, Carlos, Chan, Mohit, Andre again, Lara Croft. Oh, Lara Croft from Indonesia. Exciting. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Great. I want to share one item quickly. I tweeted about this just less than an hour ago. There's a new video on the YouTube channel, if you have not seen it. I talked about the use of just. Do we have that photo? I talked about the use of just for very recently completed actions. This just came out on the YouTube channel. So a lot of you ask about how to use the word just. Recently, a video about using just about to was released. This is just for past actions. So please take a look at this video on the English Class 101 YouTube channel for more information about how to use just. Okay, great. All right, there are lots of people in the chat now. Fantastic. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Today, we're going to talk about how to study English alone. Okay, so let's begin. Today's lesson is in 3 parts. The red color is a little difficult to see. Sorry, I'll try to fix that. I mentioned it. We're going to start here, and I'm going to show you kind of the flow for this. So let's begin with this part over here. So I think the first place I want to start for today with how to study alone is this part right here. So it's hard to see, I know. This is assess. The spelling here is A-S-S. E-S-S, assess. To assess means to check something. In this case, assess yourself. So check yourself means check your level. So a lot of you in the comments will write like, how do I know my level? Or I don't know where to start. So first step for this lesson is to check yourself, to check your level. So how do you do that? We need to answer a few questions. So when you check your level, you need to know, what can I do? What can I do? What is easy for me? And what is difficult for me? So these 3 questions are things we want to check. We want to understand about ourselves. How do we do this? So we can do this by asking some can questions. So the questions begin with can. For example, can I give my name? So this is a question about your English skills. So in English, can I give my name? Or in English, can I give my phone number? So these are maybe basic questions. Can I give my name? Can I give my phone number? More challenging questions then. Can I talk about my work? Can I talk about my work? Another more challenging one, can I give a presentation? Can I give a presentation? So these are just 4 simple questions you can ask yourself. There are many can style questions, like can I order a pizza on the phone, or can I make a reservation for a hotel? There are many very small questions you can ask yourself about your English level. So your answers to these questions are important. For example, this question, can I give my name? So by this I mean I can say, my name is Alicia. That's very comfortable for me. So in your case, are you comfortable saying, my name is so-and-so? Your answer is important. So I think it's a good idea to have 3 different possible answers. So, can I give my name? Yes, easily. Yes, easily. So it's easy to give my name. In my case, yes, it's very easy to give my name. My name is Alicia. Maybe though, for some people, yes, but it's difficult. Yes, but it's difficult. So maybe I can give my name or I can give my phone number, but it's difficult for me. The third possible answer is no, I can't. It's not possible now. I can't. I cannot do that. For example, can I give a presentation in English? Can I give a presentation in English? No, I can't. So with these 3 levels of questions, we can check our English level, our language level. So if these questions, like can I give my name, if you can say, yes, it's easy, no problem, then these types of things, maybe you don't need to study or you don't need to focus on these right now. However, here, can I talk about my work? Or can I talk about my hobbies? Maybe you said, yes, I can, but it's difficult. So I want the focus to be on these questions, the questions that you say, yes, but it's difficult. So I can do it a little bit, but it's challenging for me. If you say, can I give a presentation? And the answer is no, I can't, then maybe let's not focus on this point right now. Let's focus your level, your studies, on these difficult points right here. So focus on this. For today's lesson, let's imagine you want to talk about your work or maybe talk about your hobbies. So you ask yourself, like, can I do this thing? Yes, I can, but it's difficult. The next thing to ask is why? Why? So why is this difficult for me? For example, can I talk about my work? Yes, but it's difficult. Okay, next, why? So why are some things difficult? In this case, why is it difficult for me to talk about my work? So in my case, my work is teacher. My job is teacher. So why is it difficult for me? In your case, depending on your job, why is it difficult for you to talk about your job? For example, not enough vocabulary. Not enough vocabulary. So I don't know the words. I don't know the correct words. This is one possible reason. Or I don't know the grammar. I don't know how to explain the grammar. Like, how do I say it? My vocabulary is okay. My grammar is not so good. Or maybe my pronunciation is not clear. So I can't speak clearly and communicate. Many people have a question about confidence. I check your comments and lots of people say, I don't have the confidence to speak. I don't have the confidence to do this. Confidence comes with practice. This is an important point for practice. So if confidence is your problem from all of these, the solution is to practice. So this one, practice lots for this. So these, however, If your problem is vocabulary, or I don't know grammar, or pronunciation is not great, or, for example, my writing skills, my writing is not good. These possible reasons why it's difficult will help you make your study plan. Okay. Juan asked, can I answer maybe, but I'm not sure? Well, these questions are designed. They are yes or no questions. So if you say maybe, but I'm not sure, you're probably saying yes, but it's difficult. So try to say it or try to write it. Can you do it or not? So you should be able to say yes, no, or it's a little difficult for these. Okay, Fernando, what does assess mean? Assess means check. Check yourself. To assess yourself is to check yourself. Okay, good. So this is the first part of today's point. So the first part for studying alone is to find your level. The goal of this is to find your level and find what can I do, what is easy for me, what is difficult for me. So I recommend make a list of these can questions. What can you do? What can't you do? Make a list of these and write yes I can, yes but difficult, and no answers for these. Okay, so point one. Let's take one quick break and then we'll continue to the next step for studying alone. So I know many of you are studying alone, and some of you say vocabulary is a hard thing for you. Vocabulary is tough. So if your vocabulary is weak or you want to improve your vocabulary, you can find from this link right here, you can see these free PDF lessons. You can find these from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching later on Facebook, you can find them from the link above the video. So, depending on your goal, depending on your can statement, you can choose one of these PDF lessons. For example, this is a business English PDF. It has phrases for a meeting on it. I'll show on this camera. Is it okay? All right. To show a little more clearly, if you want to practice work-related phrases, this is the Business English PDF. There are phrases for a meeting on the back. If you are interested in talking about your family, we have a family vocabulary sheet with some phrases and vocabulary words for talking about your family, holidays, and so on. If you are a student, on this back to school PDF sheet, you can find some expressions for the classroom. So to speak to your classmates or to speak to your teachers. So you can find all of these from the link below the video on YouTube, or if you're watching later, perhaps on Facebook, you can watch or check the link above the video on Facebook. So you can get these from the link. If you have an account at EnglishClass101.com, you can download all of these for free now. They are free. If you do not have an account, you can make an account for free with your email address and your name. So please check these out. These are great for vocabulary practice and some grammar practice too. There are lots of expressions on the back page. Okay, let's continue on then. For those of you just joining, today's lesson is about how to study English alone. No teacher. So part 1 of today's lesson was about assessing yourself, how to assess yourself, how to check your level. Let's go now to part 2 here. Part 2 is make a plan. Make a plan. How do you make a plan? So in part 1, we assessed ourselves. We found something that was difficult for us. So not impossible, like we can do it a little bit, but it's difficult. So we learned that we need to find why that's difficult. I don't have vocabulary. I don't know the grammar. My pronunciation is not good, for example. So with this, we need to take this information and make a plan. Make a plan with this. So, for example, for today's lesson, let's imagine vocabulary is the problem. So I want to talk about my work, but I don't have enough vocabulary. So what should I do? So when you make your study plan, keep this point, vocabulary, and your topic in mind, because this becomes your goal. Your goal. So for this part, for making a plan, think about how to finish these sentences. How do you finish this sentence with what's difficult for you? For example, for today's lesson, my goal is to talk about my work, or my goal is to talk about my hobby in English. So here, let's imagine my goal is to talk about my work. I'm a programmer, or I'm a student maybe. To talk about my studies is also okay. Then, your second sentence to finish is my deadline is. My deadline is. So this means, when am I going to finish my goal? So next week, the end of 2019. When am I going to finish my goal? My deadline is April 15th, whatever. Choose a deadline. Maybe your deadline is a test. So there's a TOEIC test or a TOEFL test or some other test you're preparing for. Like, my goal is to do this. My deadline is the test date. That's okay too. So choose your goal. My goal is to talk about my work. My deadline is June 1st, for example. Next thing in your plan, the next thing to think about is your study schedule. Your study schedule. So this means, how often are you going to study? I'm going to study every day for 15 minutes. I'm going to study 3 times a week for 30 minutes. So choose your study schedule. I would suggest at least twice a week. At least 2 times isn't great. 3 times is better. 5 times is really, really nice. Ideally, the best case is a little bit every day. A little bit every day. So my study schedule is 3 times a week for 30 minutes each time. Or my study schedule is every day for 10 minutes. Whatever that is for you, finish this sentence or make a study schedule for yourself. Okay, someone asked, what do you do if you have questions when you study alone? We'll get to that down here. The fourth question, or rather the fourth sentence to answer is, my study resources are. My study resources. So resources, for example, a study resource is like our videos on English Class 101, or like the dialogues, the text, the transcripts on our website. It could be your textbook. It could be an app you use. Your study resources, so your vocabulary lists, your favorite flashcard tool. These are all study resources. So decide your study resources. So to talk about my work, my study resources are videos on English Class 101 and my flashcard application. So these are my study resources for this goal. Finally, as some of you said, what about this one? If I have questions, I'll what? So what are you going to do if you have a question? This is an important thing to do, or an important thing to answer. Because if you have a question and you don't know who you should talk to, you can get stuck. So if you are a member on our website, you can leave comments on our videos on the website, and a teacher from our company will reply and give you feedback. If you have one of the premium level subscriptions, you can practice one-on-one together with a teacher. You can send homework, you can send audio files, and they will give you feedback. If you're not a member of the website, that's fine too. You can find, for example, English-speaking message boards. There are English-speaking apps where you can connect with native speakers for language exchange. So find a way to get your questions answered. If that's still difficult for you, think about how to use Google to help you with this. So like if you have a grammar question, how do you use Google search to get your question answered? So think about how to answer this question. Okay, good. So these answers, or rather the ways that you finish these sentences, will help you make your plan. They'll help you make your plan. So for example, if our goal for today is to talk about work. I want to talk about my work in English. So my goal is to talk about my work in English. I'm going to study vocabulary. So I want to study vocabulary. My deadline is, June 1st, let's say. I have a few months. My study schedule is 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time. My study resources are English class videos on YouTube, and I'm going to use a flashcard application to study my vocabulary, and I'm going to practice sending comments on an English language message board asking for feedback. So something like that. So this is how we can make a specific plan for a specific goal. So notice in this so far, I'm not saying like my goal is to become fluent. That's not a good goal. We're making a very specific study plan for a very specific goal for a very specific weakness. So keep this in mind. Okay, so we'll take one more break and then we'll finish with the last part and hopefully give you a tool so that you can continue this process. Okay, so we'll finish there for now. We'll take a break. If you missed it earlier, I showed a few of these free PDFs. There's this banner here that you can see. These are available from the link below the video on YouTube, or maybe if this is up later on Facebook, you can check the link above the video there. So I showed you some family, some business related, and some school related things in the last break. In this break, however, I want to show maybe some more hobby related things. So if your goal is to talk about your hobby, I'll go over here. For example, if you enjoy shopping, this is clothes, but you can use this for other shopping too. So shopping for other items. There are phrases on the back here and some shopping related vocabulary, as well as color review too. If you enjoy traveling, here is a PDF cheat sheet for hotel. So hotel vocabulary here. And on the back, phrases to use at a hotel. I think this part is very useful. It's hard to see. Sentences you'll use in a hotel. So this is good for those of you who like to travel. If you are like me and you like food, this one, it says dining like a champ, but this is how to eat at restaurants. So here, at the beginning here, this is expressions for talking to the staff at restaurants. So if you like food and you want to practice food vocabulary, please check out this PDF. Okay, so there are a lot of different topics for these. If you want to check everything, please check the link below the video on YouTube, above the video on Facebook. Okay, so we're going to go to the last part of today's lesson. The last part is this part, a fairly short part, which is simply to study. So if you missed it, today's topic is how to study English alone. How to study English alone without a teacher. So some of you are sending your comments in the chat. Also, a quick reminder, don't forget to like and share the video as well. Someone said, do I need a subscription plan to get the PDF lessons? No, you can make a free account. You can make a free account. Yes, there are subscription plans on the website, but you can get these, the PDFs I showed, with a free account. Okay. So let's go to the last point here. So we assessed ourselves, we checked our level, we found our goal, we found the reason the thing is difficult for us, and we made a plan. So the next thing to do is to study. So put your plan into action. Put your plan into action, study until you reach your goal. So again, using those resources we talked about. Vocabulary lists. So vocab is the short word for vocabulary. Your grammar videos, like I showed you a grammar video at the beginning of this lesson, the video about just. So that's a grammar video that you can use. Presentation skills. You can look for videos and resources about presentation skills. You can look for videos about writing skills, improving your writing skills. Textbooks as well. There are many different resources to improve different skills too. So study with your plan until you reach your goals, your goal or your goals, depending on your situation. So by this, I mean, don't just study one time or study for 1 week and then quit. You have to use your plan and continue studying until you can do this thing. So this is an important part. This is like the completing point for the circle here. Oh, hi there, Debo Kim. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate it. And the super chat. Woohoo. So the last part and the very important point here is after you've studied, so you've been studying to do this thing, then when you feel comfortable, when you think, okay, maybe I'm ready, maybe I can do this thing now, this says ask the can question again. Ask the can question again. So at the beginning of the lesson today, I talked about this can I pattern. So can I give my name? Yes. Can I give my phone number? Can I talk about my work? So maybe at the beginning when you started, it was difficult for you. But after studying, ask the question again. Can I talk about my work? And if you studied correctly, hopefully, you can say, yes, easily. I can talk about my work. Keep in mind, as I said too, confidence comes with practice. So try to think about vocabulary and grammar and so on to improve that. If you're just like not sure, if you're nervous about it, just keep practicing there. Then think about, okay, do I know the vocabulary? Do I know the grammar? Can I do this? And when the answer becomes yes, easily, then move on to your next goal. So like, can I give a presentation? Or can I talk about my hobby? Yes, but it's difficult. Okay, why? What's difficult? And so on. So we repeat this flow, this kind of circle, this cycle to slowly, or maybe quickly, move forward. But it's really important to choose a specific thing to focus on, specific things to study, make the plan, put it into action, and then always check yourself again later. So this is how you can study English alone, studying English without a teacher, one-on-one, or maybe if you have an online teacher, this is how you can kind of take charge of your studies. So I hope that this tool is helpful for you in making your plans and finding your own level. So another recommendation I have, I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson, this is my last point for today. Maybe when you start, make a list of a lot of can questions like that are important for you. This is 4. Maybe you can choose like 20 or 25 can I questions. And then like keep track maybe on your computer, like in Excel, maybe Microsoft Excel or something similar. You can record your answers. So like this month, yes, this is easy, easy, easy. No, it's difficult and I can't do it. And then every time you study and check yourself, record new answers. Then you can track your own progress and see, okay, last month, this was difficult for me. Now I can do it. Or maybe next year you can see easily, oh, I learned this and this and this. So it can help you to track your progress, to keep a list and a record of your answers to these questions. So that's another tip that you can use to understand your progress. Okay, I have to finish now though. So I hope that this was a helpful lesson for you, for all of you who are studying alone. I will end the lesson there for today. Our next live lesson rather, will be in 2 weeks actually. So next week there is a special holiday on our regular live days, so our team will enjoy a break. But please join us again for our next live stream. It will be Wednesday, March 27th. It's at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now. We have daylight savings time to think about. The topic will be how to talk about household tasks. How to talk about household tasks. So the everyday things you do inside your house cleaning or doing the laundry, those kinds of small everyday actions, how do you talk about those? This will be our topic for the next live stream. So please join us March 27th, Wednesday, March 27th. You can set a notification on YouTube or on Facebook to join us live. So please don't miss that. If you have any questions, please send them in the chat. I will try to answer them where possible. Finally, don't forget, if you have not already checked, to check out the PDF lessons I showed you throughout today's lesson. So I showed a lot, but you can get them all for free from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. Okay, with that, we'll finish today's lesson. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you very much for liking and sharing the video and for sending your comments. We really appreciate it. So enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your night or day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.